There's something strange about pain. You can go to the doctor, get tests done, take medication, and yet sometimes nothing changes. The pain lingers. It moves. It fades and comes back without warning, and no one can tell you why. Pain isn't just physical. It never has been. The body isn't just a machine that breaks down randomly. It's constantly responding to your emotions, your thoughts, your inner world. You can try to ignore it, push through it, numb it, but it never truly goes away until you understand why it's there. Most people don't realize how deeply their emotions are connected to their body. You carry stress and it builds up as tension in your shoulders. You suppress anger and it tightens your jaw. You hold on to grief and it sits heavy in your chest. It's not random, it's a message. And here's what most people never stop to consider. The body is always listening. It picks up on things you aren't even fully aware of. The emotions you push away don't just disappear, they get stored. And when there's no more space left to store them, that's when the pain starts. It's why people with unspoken resentment often feel a constant tightness in their throat. It's why people who suppress sadness for years feel chronic fatigue, as if their body has been carrying a weight they never acknowledged. It's why anxiety doesn't just feel like racing thoughts. It feels like a tight chest, short breath, a stomach that won't settle. Pain that comes from an injury or illness is one thing, but there's another kind of pain, the one that doesn't have a clear cause. The kind that shows up when you're overwhelmed, when you feel stuck, when you're holding on to something you haven't processed. And it doesn't just go away on its own. You can take medicine, you can stretch, you can sleep longer, but if the cause is emotional, no physical fix will make it disappear. This is why people get trapped in a cycle of treating the symptoms instead of understanding the root. They chase relief instead of clarity. But the body doesn't want a quick fix. It wants you to listen. Pain isn't an inconvenience. It's a conversation your body is trying to have with you. But here's where things get even more interesting. Sometimes the pain you feel isn't even yours. You weren't born carrying stress, tension, or emotional weight. Some of it came from your own experiences, but some of it was passed down. Maybe by the way you were raised, maybe by the environment you grew up in, maybe by the things you witnessed but never processed. The body holds on to everything, not just your own emotions, but the ones you absorbed from the people around you. This pain isn't random. It's not just happening to you. It's happening for you, to get your attention, to wake you up, to make you stop running from what needs to be healed. Most people try to treat pain by removing it. Medication, stretching, distractions, even forcing themselves to think positive and ignore what's wrong. But what if pain isn't meant to be removed? What if it's meant to be released? Because here's the truth. You can't heal what you don't allow yourself to feel. The emotions trapped in your body aren't just going to disappear because you wish them away. They need to be acknowledged, processed. And this is where most people struggle. We've been conditioned to avoid emotions. We've been taught that pain should be fixed as fast as possible. We've been told that if we just keep moving, just stay busy, just distract ourselves, eventually things will get better. But ignoring something doesn't mean it's gone. It just means it's waiting for the right moment to resurface. So instead of fighting pain, instead of pushing emotions back down, the real question is, how do you let them go? The answer isn't what most people think. It's not about sitting in silence and thinking about your emotions. It's not about talking endlessly about them either. It's about understanding that emotions aren't just thoughts. They live in the body. And to truly release them, you have to work with the body, not against it. The first step isn't to fix anything. It's simply to notice. Where do you feel tension? What part of your body feels stuck? What emotion comes up when you stop distracting yourself? Sometimes the body speaks before the mind understands. You don't always have to know what the emotion is. You just have to feel where it's being stored. Most people breathe shallow and fast without even realizing it. But when you're stressed, when you're anxious, when you're holding on to something, your breath gets even tighter. It's as if your body is bracing itself against the emotion. The key to releasing emotion isn't just deep breathing, it's conscious breathing. Breathe in deeply through your nose. Feel your stomach expand. Hold for a moment, not to force tension, but just to observe. Exhale slowly through your mouth, like you're releasing something you no longer need. Not just once, not just for a few seconds, but as a practice. Because when the breath changes, the nervous system follows. And when the nervous system feels safe, the body can finally start to let go. Some emotions don't just sit in the mind, they sit in the muscles. That's why certain physical movements can bring up emotions unexpectedly. Ever felt a sudden wave of relief after shaking out your hands, your shoulders, your legs? That's your body breaking the cycle of stagnant energy. The body is always speaking, but most people don't listen. If you feel stuck in emotional pain, move differently. Go for a walk, but this time, let your arms swing freely. Let your breath guide you. Let yourself be present. Stretch, but this time notice where the tension is instead of forcing movement. Shake it out, but this time let it be playful, uncontrolled, unfiltered. Movement isn't just exercise, it's a language of release. Because pain isn't the enemy, it's a messenger. Instead of seeing tension as an inconvenience, what if you saw it as your body trying to help you process something? Instead of labeling emotions as good or bad, what if you let them be what they are? Just signals, just energy, just passing weather in the sky of your mind. Most people are afraid to face what they feel because they think it will overwhelm them. But the truth is, what you resist stays. What you accept passes. Let go of the idea that you need to fix yourself. You were never broken. Let go of the need to control every feeling. You were never meant to. Let go of the belief that healing is about getting rid of emotions. It's about moving through them. Because the moment you stop holding on to the pain is the moment your body finally feels safe enough to let it go.